Welcome to the Dusty Futon Musicians Podcast. The Dusty Futon is revolutionizing the music industry one artist at a time. Every episode of the Dusty Futon features an independent and original artist from the San Diego area. Our host and co-host create a conversation around the artist and their music while making it a point to allow them to tell their story their way. We don't have any advertisers or sponsors, so anything goes. This is a chance for the artist to just talk to you, the fans, about why they do what they do, what they go through, and how they do this thing we call music. We don't charge the artists for this service. We want it to remain completely free for the artists who need it and the fans that want to find them. That's why we set up a Patreon page where your donation can get you behind-the-scenes access to audio, video, and photos, and even get you direct access to the artists. Go to patreon.com/thedustyfuton for more information. Help us revolutionize the music industry, one artist at a time.
Volcano.
His name describes his style of music. He's all about that bass. About that bass. With some treble. This guy didn't start DJing until 22 years old. And he tells us that he switched from playing in a rock band to writing beats and crafting tracks, mainly for the money. I'm not buying it. He definitely has the passion for it. So let's listen to what he has to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want me to host this one?
Why don't you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to be the annoying witty banter.
So you're going to be me, and I'm going to be you.
He's the Baba Booey of the show, I guess.
Baba Booey. Oh, wow. I want to be
Artie Lang.
Eric. I want to be high-pitch Eric. Oh my
Who's that? High pitch
Stuttering Gary.
Wow.
Eric the retard.
Oh, this is going to be a fun episode, I can tell. Oh, you know what? How I know? Because you've got Easy E socks, man. Those things are
Easy
badass.
motherfucking E.
Yeah, look at that.
Here we go.
Real motherfucking G's.
Straight out
Nice.
of Compton.
How many G's did that cost?
Straight out of Sock Factory.
You know what? Let's go ahead and just start this episode.
Yeah.
Since we kind of did.
Who are we
Yeah.
talking to? Who are you? Name yourself.
Bassassin?
DJ Bassassin.
I kept calling you Bassassin. I don't know why.
Oh, what the hell?
Okay, that's not the name that your mother gave you. I'm pretty sure.
No, and it's also not the worst one I've been called.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Nice.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Fantastic.
DJ Bassassin.
All
I love
right.
to play the little double entendre.
Mashing two words together. Yeah, it's a mashup.
Mashup. It's a mashup. That's what DJs do the best.
So was that the reason you came up with the name, or where's your name come from specifically?
Yeah, I was in a group chat.
you with bass.
Yeah, assassinate with the bass. I've blown out speakers. I've had the cops called on my parties before because of how much bass I use.
Oh wow.
No, it's because having a good time is against the law, apparently, in some
it
neighborhoods.
In Encinitas it is. You can't dance and you can't have more than 5 musicians on a stage
You
at
got
a
to
time.
take the power back.
Or smoke
and you're
cigarettes,
doing
like
it.
in the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just overturned the dance
That's-
thing, but it's going to take like a year before
Of course.
people can get their
The
licenses.
footloose law.
Damn that
There's
Footloose.
tons of those in California.
Dang.
So how
Just
old are
tax
you?
it. It's
How old are
California.
you?
I am 30.
You're 30.
Yeah.
How long have you been DJing for?
8 years.
Because I swear to
that's
God, you
a long
walked
time.
in the door, I thought you were like 24.
I was going 19.
That's what the DJ life does to you, bro. It keeps you young, you know?
Oh, man.
Staying out till 4 in the morning keeps you young?
I'm hanging out. I'm hanging in the wrong colors.
Didn't work for
man.
me.
to say. How does that happen?
You guys are doing the wrong drugs.
Yeah,
Is there a wrong joke?
meth.
Yeah, that's wrong.
That's a wrong drug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now ecstasy, that's a
Heroin.
right drug.
And cocaine.
so
cocaine.
anyway-
I want to
Hell
take
of a
whatever
drug.
I want to take whatever Neo took, like at the beginning of the Matrix, you know, something that took him out of the false reality. Anyway,
I took both.
that pretty. Yeah.
No.
So wait,
That's funny.
No,
Hold on.
are you wasted?
We had this very discussion on like the second episode of the Dusty Futon. It's so funny that you said that.
Oh my God.
We had like what happens if he did take both? Because like one he was going home, one he actually went to the Matrix, which he did. So if he took both, what the fuck was going to happen?
He'd forget he went to the Matrix.
Yeah, you just tripping balls. But anyway.
Well, that would suck.
So are you hosting this or me? Because I haven't said
don't
but
know.
like
No.
2 words.
No, what? See, I'm doing what you do and just stepping all over everything that you say. So
And not letting me speak at all.
Hey, it's a party.
I warned you.
I know.
All right. So you started this at 22.
What was the how did that happen?
I started out making music and DJing when I was living in my parents' garage.
Okay.
Were they really supportive?
And that's it.
And that's it. Okay. It went from living in a garage to DJing at clubs.
So now, when you started out, then did you have like your own pretty much setup, or were you using like your parents' records? Were they supportive of this? Were you like scratching some, Peter, Paul, and Mary to,
No, I had a controller.
Lemon tree. Lemon tree. Tastes so sweet.
It was all digital. No records. I have used vinyl maybe twice in my life, and
Yeah.
it was difficult.
When you started in your mom's basement, what gear did you start with? Like, what did you have?
My first controller was a Vestex Typhoon, and that company's no longer in business anymore.
Wow.
Like it's
is that because
so
of you? Did you do something?
It's so outdated, and it's compared to the equipment I have now. It looks like a Fisher Price DJ
wow.
equipment.
Wow.
And you're thinking back now, 8
think
years
back-
ago, how the hell did I start on that?
Yeah.
And I was so proud of it. I was like, oh man, I got my own DJ equipment. Yeah, I'm so cool.
That is awesome.
That's how you start, though, and you grow from there. Now,
Where was your first gig?
What was that company? Afton.
After.
Yeah, I used Afton. Are you familiar with them?
Nope.
no, we don't know anything about DJs here on the Dusty Futon.
Oh, they book gigs for artists. Man,
Oh,
like,
I got it.
Oh, okay.
For rappers.
There's another
bands.
one too. Sleeping Giant. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I've heard of them. I haven't used them yet though. And Afton pays out $1 per ticket sale,
Okay.
so I wouldn't recommend using them. But if you really are starting out and you want to have a gig and sell tickets to your parents and your friends,
Right.
you could use them.
Hey, well, you got to start somewhere, I guess.
What made you want to be a DJ? Because DJ is an interesting form of music artistry because you're not you create music, but you're not a singer, you're not a vocalist, you're just creating and mixing a whole different style. So what brought you into that?
Well, first off, I do produce my own music.
Right.
But playing out other people's music, I do have to make it sound good, and I do have to mix it in, blend it, make sure it's in the same key, same tempo, and same overall feel for the crowd.
Right.
Interesting.
What made you want to do that? Like, what got you started with, hey, I want to be a DJ?
I was always into music. I was playing guitar. I was in a band. We played dive bars, and I played a solo career. Did all the music on my own guitar, bass, drum programming, and vocals. Around 19 years old, I started going to raves, and I would look around and say, "Oh, yeah, DJing would be cool. I respect musicianship, but there's no money in it." And then my friend grabbed me by the head and said, "Look at how many people are here. There's thousands of people here, and y'all paid $50 each just to get in and wait 2 hours in line. There's money in this." And then I opened my eyes real wide and said, "Oh yeah, there is."
Now that you
And
mention it.
Now that you mention, okay, yeah, there is. And so then after that, that's when I started. I went home the next day, started researching DAWs and DJ programs, and getting right to it.
So
Very
your
cool.
your Fisher Price was that I didn't know the brand, like I'm not familiar with it at all. Was that a DAW or was that an interface?
That was a controller, so it was a
It's an interface.
yeah, a mixer, and it had the two where the records would go, the two
Right.
turntables.
Where the
Where the records would go.
But it's all digital. It wouldn't be where the records would go.
This is a new DJ.
they know
I don't know how to explain it to you guys. You guys aren't familiar with the DJ terms.
No, well, that's okay. I can help. I know some of it because we actually have a segment that we call Producer's Corner, where we actually have a guy who's familiar with this, who is the typical host. But we threw you into here just to screw up Tyler a little bit.
because of the
Boy,
Tyler.
did he. Yeah.
The Bassassin.
Look at me.
space.
Kept my mouth shut.
You did very well there, Tyler.
Nobody's
Yeah,
done
I'm
that
very impressed.
before. Yeah.
That was quite a long period
It's
of
taking
time.
a lot.
Actually, it's the whip
just
in the
takes
background.
cookies and beer.
I forgot you were there.
Yeah. I just blend into the wall here.
Well, let's.
Just art.
I want to hear something. How does
Yeah,
this work?
we have. Well, typically with the DJ, you have an entire set. You constantly update your music as you're going through. You blend it in live.
Is that what you do?
You
Tell
mean my music?
Well,
Yes.
No, when you're doing a DJ set, right? It's nonstop. Like you're constantly blending track after track after track.
It doesn't stop. Like my
Right.
gig last night was for 4 hours, from 9 to 1 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
It's a long
and
night,
you never
Sonny.
stop playing music,
No,
right? And
you can't. The people will look at you like, well, what happened?
but
Yeah.
you sent
Yeah.
the tracks you sent me are all under 4 minutes long.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what are these tracks? I haven't I haven't listened to any of it. No, actually, I listened to your music on Reverb Nation where I found you.
Okay, yeah.
But,
thank you for selecting me.
All right, so you sent me 3 tracks: Molly in the Club, Volcano, and Love Surround Me with Bang Music. Oh, We Bang. No,
We Bang was the he remastered. Actually, that CD will be re-released this year. It originally came out in 2009 or 2014. It'll be released in 2019 as a remaster. The
Nice.
5-year anniversary.
And this is a track that's going to be on that album?
Yes, it is.
Well, let's go ahead and feature that one out.
Yeah.
Now, before we go into it, tell me a little bit about how you developed this track, because it's not from a live set, right?
No, this was all just from me sitting in my parents' garage, thinking of
Being a businessman.
That's the name of the business. It's called In My
My-
Parents' Garage.
That is actually a
Yeah,
really good
that's
name.
really good.
In my
Yeah.
parents' garage, LLC.
Oh, where were we? I totally.
I don't know. I'm just going to play
He's
this
seeing
fucking
dollar signs
song.
right now.
Oh, you were asking how it evolved, how he got this song, how
I
the
was.
song evolved. Yes, and he was in his parents' garage. We got that.
just sitting there, just thinking like, what would sound good,
Yeah.
and making these robot noises. This would sound good. Oh, this would sound good.
Okay,
cool.
so that's a good
Very
lead.
That's about it. It's robot
So here we
noises, and
are.
I'll
This'll
completely
sound good.
acknowledge that.
Robot
awesome.
noises and love surround me. So this is Bassassin's
Bassassin.
DJ Bassassin's track "Love Surround Me."
Get it.
The love I feel for you is so heavy. The love I feel for you is so heavy. The love I feel for you is so Oh, let your love surround me. Oh, let your love surround me.
So what's interesting about the song? It's got 14 seconds left, but I'm sure it can go on for another 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna go ahead.
If you
and drop
wanted
it
it
off.
to, I could just loop that for you.
Well,
There you
that's what
go.
I was going to ask: is how much of that was loops and how much of that was original creation by you?
The loops were the intro,
Yeah.
and then I wrote the lyrics, and then I went on a website and looked for a singer.
Did you sing the lyrics?
No, no.
He had his wife like give him a little kick.
That was
you know?
not me.
I was 22. I was young.
Yeah, it was way before I met you, honey. Great. Now I'm gonna get it tonight.
Yeah. Like, who
Wait,
was
isn't that a good
hoe?
thing? Getting it tonight? Okay.
They do have a young baby.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure I got our last guest in their next divorce. So
Yeah.
You kind of
Great. I'm
did
on a
stir
roll
that
here.
one up.
Shit.
So you pretty much, in terms of you said robotic noise before we started this. So you created all that yourself.
Yes.
And what program did you use?
Fruity Loops.
So like, what did you start with? Like, what sound did you start with to develop that?
I started with presets off of Massive. You know, some of it was inbox, but a lot of it was using Massive.
Okay.
Using the presets they have in there. I don't really know the exact names of them.
Okay. See, this
Of
is
each
why.
little synthesizer.
This is why I don't host producer corners because
I'm just sitting here going, you know how I'm not a DJ. I'm sitting here like an old person, like I don't know what all you kids just said.
What are those name
Like,
words? Yeah.
yeah, massive, Fruity Loops, hyphy. Like, what is all this stuff?
These
well,
words
those are
foreign.
brand names.
Yeah, just make up words.
But you know he said DAW earlier, right?
DAW?
That's a digital audio
workstation.
Yeah.
no, I don't know this.
You do now.
I
You
know
do now.
very little.
I love this.
Yeah.
I'm getting so
No,
enlightened.
this is great. This is you're really
It's very
like
interesting.
immersing me into this this life. And one, I gotta say that I love the music. By the way,
Same.
it is pure chaos, which is
Uh-huh.
all that's
Fabulous.
going on right up here,
All the time.
24 hours a day, even when I sleep.
Yeah.
So this actually kind of puts me right in my comfortable atmosphere. You know, it's like this is where I feel nice.
Your
I can go
happy
to
place,
sleep
right?
listening to this stuff. You know.
Really?
No, not necessarily, but it gets me pumped and I feel completely comfortable. Some people sit there and I'm sure you've heard people say that, oh, it's just noise. You just put a bunch of noise, not music or anything
Right.
like that. I'm like, bullshit.
A lot of
See,
criticism
that's
on
one of
that.
the problems I have with the way people look at EDM to begin with. The EDM is its own branch of music, and from EDM you have so many different aspects of that. And what's I guess what genre of EDM would you call your style?
Overall, it would be bass music.
Okay.
Like I kind of encompass dubstep,
Dancing.
trap, drum and bass, and hip hop. Like a
Yeah.
combination of
I was
all
gonna
those
say-
music together.
I was going to say dubstep because that's the only one I really know. And I was like, I hope I get that right because there are so many subgenres that they're like, no, that's not dubstep. dude.
I was
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
go more of
You
a
know?
trance bass is what I figured.
Here we go. With some more.
yeah,
I don't know.
those intro chords were
Yeah.
kind of. This dude's kind of trancy.
Well, I think there's just a huge misconception about EDM altogether and in general about it not being music.
Right. Yeah. Well, and the big reason for that is because, like you said, it's all you don't have anything physical that you use. You obviously have musical prowess because you
Yes.
come from a background of playing a guitar and being in a band, so you have that
bass.
exposure and that experience. But where you take it is into a different level of music, and you don't have instrumentation necessarily. You write the instrumentation. You're more of an author than you are a musician in that aspect. I'm not saying you're not a musician. I'm just saying in that aspect of the way you create your music, you're more of an author.
I think in the sense of maybe the distorted noises, that's might be what you're thinking. But there's also a lot of chords, a lot of melody in there too.
Right,
As
but-
you heard in the intro.
Right. Now, are you playing those live, or are you pumping them in and then adjusting them?
No, I'm playing them live. And then adding, effects like flanger or whatever to them.
Oh,
And-
really?
And gates, in the mixing process. I do all my own mixing and mastering for the most part.
Wow.
Sounds really good.
It does. It sounds really good.
Well, that one was the remaster. That was done from a friend of mine.
Oh, so we got to hear the other stuff.
That was You don't want to hear the 2014 master.
Okay. Okay.
We grow. We grow.
I'm like all out of my element here, so I feel a little uncomfortable. But
So you said you played guitar and bass when you were younger.
Yes.
When did you throw that away?
What type of music did you play at?
Oh,
I'm kidding.
maybe when I was
your girlfriend just shot you evil eyes.
I haven't touched them in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'll bring them back up when for my daughter. I have a 6-month-old daughter.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank
That's
you,
awesome. What's her name?
Layla.
Layla.
Oh,
Nice.
Yes.
That's a
Layla
good
Selena.
music
Derek
term.
and the Dominoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle name is Selena.
Ooh,
So
there you go.
very musical name.
Very musical name.
Totally.
Except she does cry for Argentina and everything else.
And everything.
Yeah.
else, yeah.
And when she's hungry or has poopies or something like that.
You're so dumb. I swear.
What's the best experience you've had DJing at a club or show or whatever?
I think my best one was when I DJ'd at the sports arena for the Life in Color Music Festival.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What made that your bet? With the size of the crowd? Or?
Yeah, just playing for 3,000 or 5,000 people.
That's rad.
How far into your career did that happen?
That was 2016. 2016. So that was
Pretty recent.
6 years
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
in.
Now, I've been in the crowd when DJs are on. I mean, you're sitting there getting the speakers blasted on you, but it's a completely different experience being you up on the stage. What does that feel like standing up there and commanding the movement of 3,000 to
Everyone's all-
5,000 people?
Oh, I loved
insane.
it. It was just amazing seeing people get down to the music that I thought they would like, and then enjoy the music that I created myself.
Yeah. And to see the reaction, that must be freaking insane.
Yeah, to see them just bounce to the drop,
That's cool.
that was really cool.
How'd you score that gig?
I sold a lot of tickets.
Really?
Yeah, I had to work very hard to get that. I think I sold 135 tickets
Damn,
to.
fella.
I call people that I don't even know.
So how many tickets did you sell?
135.
100. Then that was for So how did that? You sold that for the show?
That's
Yeah.
a hustle. That's
Yeah.
a hustle.
So how did
And-
you get on the bill for the show?
By selling 135 tickets.
So they
Like,
give you the
and
opportunity.
even the promoter was calling me and saying, "Oh, hey, this other DJ just sold another 10." I'm like, "Oh, fuck." So I would call my wife and say, "Talk to your coworkers, talk to whoever you can talk. Talk to your customers, and
Yeah.
then try to sell them tickets.
Oh, man.
Whoever
I
we
feel
can
bad.
do."
I feel really bad for the
so-
DJ that sold 134 tickets.
Well, that's what I was about to
Yeah,
ask. So
but you know what?
Hold on. I want to understand this. So you sold tickets and you became the DJ to
somebody's
play.
event.
So what about the tickets that somebody else already sold? Did they get to come
Better
see
luck next
you?
year.
They got a payout, their
Oh,
cut
okay.
or whatever, their percentage,
got their
but
percentage.
they
They
didn't get the slot.
to do this. So they didn't get to do the set, but they got a
They-
percentage of the tickets that they sold.
Yeah, and that's what the promoter kind of.
That sounds like a fucked up way to sell. To do a
it
show.
absolutely is.
Promoters are the devil.
And that's
That
kind of
is
how it is.
dickish.
Evil.
I don't know how it is in for bands.
It's
but
like gambling.
It's
It's
like
but it's
Pachanga
not.
Casino.
It's
or
not gambling for the person putting the show on because they're making money off of people who are
Regardless.
selling a show that they're not even going to play in.
Yeah, of course.
and then all their friends that they sold tickets to,
Yeah, that's-
they're like, "Oh, we were hoping to see you." Like, "Oh, well,
I know.
That's
Oh,
like wow.
great experience for you because you got to play in front of 3 to 5.
Yeah,
There-
Yeah.
that's
So,
the truth of the
That's
matter, I
an
guess.
exposure right
but
there.
damn,
That's why you got to buy the
I'm-
friggin' night or just forget it.
I'm seriously floored by that prospect that you have to sell tickets in order to be on the billet.
and the highest
And-
ticket
and
sellers.
It's not even pay to play. That's slave to play.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how it is with some of the
that the-
clubs. I don't really want to name them unless it's okay. I don't want to name
you can
them.
name whatever you want. Like I
It's the
said,
internet, dude.
we are
Say
not
whatever you want.
we are not sponsored or trying to make anybody happy. We're here for you, so you could put anybody on blast you want.
Well, some of the clubs in downtown, they make you sell a certain number of tickets to even play at even 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
Right. Yeah.
And that could be anywhere from 35 to 50
Yeah.
Wow.
at 20.
Well, that's the
$50
pay to
a
play
piece.
that Kim just mentioned. That's
Yeah,
part of the
it
problem with the San Diego music scene
Yeah.
to begin with.
all around.
And everywhere now, it's
getting-
spreading
it's
even
really-
further.
You can all thank Bill Gazzari for that from the Whiskey a Go Go. He started that.
Yeah, it's basically if you want to be on our stage, you have to pay us.
Yeah.
and
You
gotta sell
buy a
tickets
bulk
to
of
get those-
tickets, and then you sell those for whatever you want.
You pay for the privilege of playing, saying you could, I played here before.
Yeah.
Yeah. To tell that to other clubs that, okay, cool, you played there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but
Not-
there are certain clubs that try to do that you're not really happy to say, oh yeah, I got to play it, blah blah blah.
I'm like, okay, we'll sell 30 tickets to our club now. Like,
Yeah,
you
right,
gotta
right.
do the whole process all over again.
It's a vicious
No.
circle of.
But it's way worse for you guys. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
because they have to sell. I mean,
I'm sorry. I can't.
And
I'm having
those
a hard
weren't
time-
cheap. That was $50 to $70 a piece.
Jeez.
So you had to blindly sell $50 tickets to people who may not even see you.
Yeah. And to people I didn't even know. When I was working, at a gas station at the time.
My question is,
I had to
how
sell
did you get
tickets to
people
customers
you
pumping
didn't
gas.
know to give up $50? Because I want to know how to do that.
Told them I'm a DJ and I'm playing here with these other DJs that are going to be there.
How many other DJs were there?
There was 3 other touring headlining DJs.
Oh, and then the local guy?
And then 3 other, or 2 other besides me. So 3 locals and 3 touring DJs.
Okay, so was anybody who sold tickets not on stage or not performing?
Yeah.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Anybody who was selling tickets not actually perform at all?
No, everyone that performed sold tickets unless they were the headliners. But they were
So
the headliners were guaranteed. Probably a crazy amount of money and a crazy amount of alcohol.
And they can thank you for that.
Well,
Yeah.
what I was trying to get at is the logistics behind it, because I was misunderstanding what you said. I thought you were saying that you would have to sell, if you didn't sell the most tickets, you didn't even get to play.
The guys that I went on first,
right?
Because I sold 135, and there were guys that sold. There was one guy that sold 300, and he got to go on before the headliners.
So how many people were selling tickets?
Oh man, I don't even know. Like, I know that there are some people that got upset that I was the one that got chosen, and in the DJ circles, in other chat rooms, or in meetings with other promoters, that have heard my name and they didn't want to book me because their friends
didn't get
a spot and I did, and so that's just politics.
Yep. Politics ruins everything.
It does. I hate that shit.
This is so disappointing. It's so disappointing that people just can't be fair and be respectful and do the right thing.
Exactly. It's like, it's not about you. I'm sorry. It's not about your politics.
Apparently,
it's about the music.
It's all about their pockets, Yeah.
If you're good, you should be able to fucking play.
Yeah, and if they did want to book me, like, well, they know that I could sell tickets. I don't know why they wouldn't want to have me sell tickets to their thing.
See, that's the other thing, is you play a politics game and you can lose most of the time, because if you're trying to play to favorites, you may be playing to a favorite that doesn't help you.
That's true. It's really true.
And then you're stuck into their little circle, and then you're not able to get out of that circle without losing that whole group that you're playing to. So just be fucking neutral.
Or you might be associated with some people that this other group doesn't like, and they're like, oh, well.
Exactly.
Friggin' exhausting, man.
That's why you just don't play the politics game at all, and you just play DJ Bassassin or Bassassin.
Yeah, I'd rather be a free agent.
Yeah.
And I did roll with a couple of crews. Like when I was living in LA, I was with the Mayhem team, and then I was on the Motive team, and then I was with a couple of local guys over here, but I'd rather just be a free agent, not deal with anything.
Yeah.
Just do you and do it.
Yeah.
And just pick up gigs whenever.
Yeah, pay yourself.
Well,
make
we
my own money.
mentioned what Tyler wanted Tyler's daughter to be named. And there happens to be a song, Molly in the Club.
Look at Mama over there. She's like not having it.
I guess we can't bring that up anymore.
Well, she has breastfeeding, so
Not at the moment. She.
I'm like, wait, what?
But she does. She does breastfeed our baby.
So no.
Big John's like, what right now?
I'm like craning.
No Molly. No caffeine.
No.
Well, let's check out
No
Molly
beer.
in the Club featuring Chrome.
Chrome Corleone, as he likes to be called now.
Corleone.
Chrome Corleone is likes to be
Corleone with the
called now.
balloons.
This is very gangster, man. Very gangster.
Well, he's featured on this track by DJ Bassassin.
I gotta put myself in the form of I am on a molly.
Molly in the Club.
I gotta feel like I'm on a molly.
Here we go.
I'm about to pop this molly. DJ Bassassin, what it do? What up? Trippy, man, I can't feel my face. I'm just super hype right now, man. Man, I pop 2 of these things. Turn up. You said MDMA? Whoa. Fuck it, Molly in the club. I got up in morning like fuck us, so come on. I got that work, make it showing this song. Got 30 some bricks in the back of a home. My niggas got top of the so you don't want it.
Seriously, I'm already picturing what it would be like to be in the club with you.
Insane, right?
And I want to be there.
You said you have a residency every other Friday somewhere?
Yeah, every other Friday, I play at the Moxy Hotel in San Diego on 6th Street.
Nice, right in the gas lamp.
Yeah, oh yeah, right in the heart.
That's a good gig.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every other Friday.
Yeah, so twice a month.
Badass.
On Friday nights,
This is-
like from 9 to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Bassassin.
Bassassin. That's the new term for badass is bassassin.
It's pretty much.
Remember that less is more we were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Leave
powerful.
space.
That reverb, that holding
Oh
it out.
yeah, I like reverb a lot. a lot.
I feel like that should have been in like an Arby's commercial or something.
I feel like that was more of a sampler. I feel like that was more of a sampler of what you could do. Because you bounced around in a lot of different like styles and tempos and feels with just that one track.
I like to. That was that track came out around 2016, and that was when I was using a lot of hip hop influenced EDM. And so I was combining the two genres.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had the rapper that. No man, I have a story now.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So
Story time.
Yay.
living in Tahoe at the time. I think this was 2010, maybe 2011, something like that. Me and my best friend, we were living in Tahoe. We shared the master bedroom in a house with maybe 5 other people that were all snowboarders, and they all worked at different snowboarding mountains. And like I didn't snowboard. I'm not athletic.
Obviously, you just said snowboarding mountain. So
Oh shit! I didn't.
ski slope, snow slope, whatever.
I lived in a house, Tahoe, in North Lake Tahoe, and
North Shore.
just listening to 3-6 Mafia every single night, watching Cheech and Chong every night, just being like just completely like more drunk than I've ever been ever. Because I'm from San Diego, I'm from Poway, California, and so when I moved up there for like 6 months, living up drinking in the mountains.
It's all you have to do.
Yeah, your resistance, because the higher elevation gets you drunker faster.
That's right. That makes perfect sense.
So your tolerance goes up when you're in the mountains.
It goes down.
It goes down because of lack of
The oxygen.
oxygen in
is-
the higher
Less
elevation.
tolerance.
Well, I mean, if you drink heavily while you're in the mountains, your tolerance goes up because when you come
Yeah,
down,
when I came back down here, I could outdrink anybody.
that's what I meant. Your tolerance
you
goes
go.
up,
There you
I'm over here drinking a beer
doing that.
that's like 8.5% right now.
and you're still talking like you're. Well, actually, you're
It's
just
like
warming
nothing.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cheating.
well, this is actually beer
That's
number
like
2 for me
Lance
today.
Armstrong
Yeah.
blood doping.
That's number 2.
I want to take it down to a little serious level here. After listening to your track,
Since
I gotta,
when?
I know, right?
I know that is like a
Since episode 1, it hasn't been serious.
We were made on April Fool's Day, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's fun. I know.
You were made on.
That's kind of planned. After listening to your track, though, like it amazes me. You said that track was 2016,
Yes.
and so that was, if I'm doing the math right, about 5 years after you had started DJing.
Yes.
So do you do this like in your sleep? Because you are at a level of somebody who's been doing this forever. And I'm not like, my opinion is the way this stuff sounds. And Ali, you listen to a lot of music, a lot of EDM. What do you think? It's very high level quality in the terms that the way your music sounds?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, thank you. We got it.
DJ
Thank you for your
Sly.
input.
DJ Sly over there.
So how hard do you work? Like how much time do you spend on your beats, your crafting, your designing of your songs?
I would spend hours, days. No.
Yeah.
I would never sleep. I would just stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning every single day. I wouldn't eat, and I wouldn't shower. Like, I would never leave my computer. I would just sit there and make sure that everything sounds right.
We're happy you picked those habits back up, by the way.
Thank you. Showering
Yeah.
and the cleansing your body.
He
I'm
was in
sitting
the
there like, I
zone.
didn't put the plastic on that chair.
He's like, you don't know. I finally took a shower after 2 weeks.
No, were you just that much in the zone and just that much
Yeah.
in the zone?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just never leave. I would never eat. I would never get up. I would just sit there until I thought it was done.
Well, that's
least
a
it
good
was-
weight loss method.
At least it was productive,
I need
though.
to
It's
try.
not like World of Warcraft or something. Where, like,
Yeah,
came out
right.
of
Hey.
I'm treading
World
sacred
of
ground.
Warcraft is productive. I'm meeting with my friends bi-weekly to strategize.
Team
about
building
team
exercises,
building.
right? Yeah.
I do that once a year. It's called fantasy football draft.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
Same.
But that's pretty impressive because that's like to compare it to a music side of like an artist, like musicians. A lot of musicians don't spend the time necessary to perfect their craft.
Yeah.
It's like once you design a song and you build a song and you create it, you sit there and you play it and you're like, oh, I'm good. You put it aside and you perform it when you go out to a show. And a lot of artists I've come across, not necessarily on the Dusty Futon, but they'll only basically consider their performances their practice. But
I despise that.
yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
There's a lot of artists out there, and some of the EDM artists I've talked to are kind of the same way because once you put it on the computer, it's done in their eyes, like in a lot of people's eyes. But you constantly working on your tracks, it shows in what you sent me.
There's a difference between a weekend warrior and a professional. And I
Exactly.
think exactly what we have here is a professional.
Hey, so I do have a question, though, and I want to come back, to a little more serious, more on a professional level, how you perfect your craft. So when you go and you play shows, I imagine you have like sets of, you do some mashups. You play bits of, songs that are out there that people know about or familiar on the radio and stuff like that. What really, how do you set your list up? Because honestly, you can't come out with like your best tracks first.
No, you wouldn't want to start that out because no one started drinking yet. Or they just got there, they just arrived, maybe they're halfway done to their first cocktail and they're not really feeling anything yet. They're just kind of talking with their friends, not really dancing. They just want to sit and have conversations what they've done throughout the week and catch up.
So you
pre-gaming.
like to kind of, I guess you like to kind of read the crowd and wait for these moments. You wait to see kind of the first, white girl fall over and go, okay, now we're getting
Fine.
sauced. It's time to
Yeah.
start dropping the bass a little bit.
Yeah, now someone just starts playing some ratchet hip hop or some trap music.
There you go. Again, professional.
Right? Let's get some more white girls falling over. Yeah, let's do it.
What is your favorite EDM style that you like? Like when you sit down and you start writing, when you sit down and you start like designing a sound or a song, what is your go-to to start from? And it may evolve to something different, but what's your go-to style to start with?
You went to the dub track, or the dub track, the dubstep track.
I would say dubstep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that goes with your
Isn't
name.
that more bass,
Bassassin.
more bass driven?
Very, very bass driven. Oh, I thought Allie was gonna. I thought I saw a hand go up. I wanna say
I feel like she should be asking all the questions.
I know,
She
right?
knows way more than any of us. Yeah.
I kind of do, yes.
and that's all
Well,
we get from Allie.
Well, then let's just get one
Do
question.
you have a question you want to ask us?
DJ Sly, come on. Look us up.
What is your opinion on Skrillex?
Who? He's like, who? Let's not bring up other artists. Do you have anything like about E EDM?
Just what kind of why are you drawn towards that type of music? I guess because some people
That's
are
a good question.
drawn towards that. And
Yeah.
Because it's popular and it makes money.
Oh,
There you go. Okay,
He's
so
got
you're a
baby to feed.
businessman. Yeah.
We already established that, the garage, the parents, the business.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not selling out. I'm buying in, motherfucker.
Right?
Yeah, that's LC Punk.
Yes.
Oh, we're big
knew I
fans
liked
of
this
punk over
guy.
here.
And I'm not biased because
Same.
his name is also mine. But,
No.
no, not at all.
Not at all.
That's exactly what I tell people too because before I was doing dubstep, I was doing a genre called gabber, like
What?
hardcore techno.
Watch your mouth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I even had it tattooed on me before I was doing dubstep. And
What is
see,
gabber?
I got
That's a
a
nice tattoo.
see. It's a skull
Yeah.
with headphones on.
Oh.
And it is the most unlistenable music that
It's like screamo metal.
like-
where
like
it's
the
just
pig squeal.
nonsense.
that people could listen to, that normal people could listen to, and I completely enjoyed it, and I did that for so long, and then I wasn't making any money out of it, and
Was it because maybe you were the only one that liked it?
yeah, I think I was the only one that liked it, especially in America too, and then USA, and
Well, you like blending genres. Have you tried to figure out a way to bring that back in, since you like it, bring it back into what you do and blend it and mold it into your own?
yeah. So I have a.
She's like the producer
missus-
screaming behind the
It's
glass.
like, no,
yeah,
stop.
she's the wifeager.
The wife and her. Oh, nice.
The wool manager.
That is cool.
He's reaching for more beer.
More beer.
More beers.
More
and not
beer.
Oh, last one.
Oh,
There you
well,
go.
That's okay.
Yep. Kim, do you have,
Another
Kim, do you have any
What?
waters in the fridge?
I don't have any waters in the fridge,
Do you,
actually.
need a water?
Do you
I
need
meant
a water?
Coors.
You meant, oh, yeah.
Yes. Is there Coors in the
Of
fridge?
course. Come on.
You want a Coors?
You don't know me at all. Of course there's Coors.
What?
It'll go good with my Coors surfboard bottle opener.
But I'm sure you'd
on
rather
my
drink the
keychain.
Stone.
I'll have one too, sir.
I'd rather drink your beer, to be honest. That way I could save my beer for later.
Right?
Okay, there you go. Bring it, Coors.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's say my beer. I don't make beer.
He can go home and enjoy himself and not have to, worry
So
about
what's interesting? Okay, when it comes to the musicality of EDM, like you said, Kim, a lot of people don't consider it music.
Then they judge right away because they don't.
Right, and Tyler here.
What?
I'm sorry. I mean,
Real
Tyler.
DJ Bassassin.
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 I love that.
Can you?
I'm doing that intentionally now, by the way.
Oh,
Bassassin.
Um,
I'm not. I'm saying it correctly.
I know.
Bassassin.
But DJ Bassassin,
DJ Bassassin. In the house.
DJ Bassassin, actually, like you just said, in remarks to the Hail to the Chief thing, you played that song, like, and you played it in real time, editing or recording it into your DAW.
Yes.
Right? And then from there, you took what you already recorded and transposed it into something completely different. Like you may move it up a scale, may move it to a different key or whatever, right? And so that brings a whole level of musicality into your EDM music. Do you do that same thing? Like, do you write songs in just a standard, like on a piano, and then do that same thing?
No, I go in and I'll improvise. I just kind of sit there, look at the computer for a little bit, think of a key. I figure, I'll do this one in A minor, or I'll do this one in F, whatever, and then sit there, think, and then make a couple of sounds, and like, oh, okay, this would sound good, and then find a sample. Oh, okay, now maybe I'll change stuff up, keep it going. It's all improv, though. It's all improv at the end of the day.
Like even your live or even your recordings that you're creating, you just improv the whole way through.
I just sit there and create it that day, or I mean throughout the days. But
Right.
it's I don't write any notation down.
It's all in the computer.
Yeah.
Like nothing is done on a piece
No,
of
I
paper.
don't
or-
pre-write anything.
No,
Not even
wow.
the lyrics.
So you just feel it out and you just kind of jam, as it were.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is really cool. So you will have it on a loop and just sit there, maybe tweak a couple things, and just sit there with it on a loop in your head. And
He's kind of like the Bob Ross of DJs, where he's like,
Yeah.
I start to see these
Yeah.
things happening in front of me before they're even there. We're gonna go, yes, actually, right here.
here's a little
This is
tree.
where we're gonna put a happy little bass drop, right here, yeah. And here comes Peepaw, the blah, 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 blah noise. We'll sneak him in there
That'd be-
somewhere.
yeah,
That's where he's
this
gonna
is-
live, right
yeah,
here.
at the
Shoot.
30-second mark, that's when the blah 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 noise comes
if
in.
you want to sample that, I'll give you that audio clip from Tyler doing that. Oh man.
I missed it, huh?
Yeah, you missed it, and we're about to kill it here. But
Yeah.
we're gonna play one more track before we kill it. So, Volcano. Ooh. Is the name of this track.
I just pictured
That's a Jimmy Buffett song.
I'm sensing.
now?
It is. It's a good one, but I bet you it's a
Really?
better Bassassin song.
he
I'll have to
played
check that one out.
Oh my god, he sang the national anthem at one of the playoff games.
I loved it. You don't have to
He was
be
so
good. You just
bad.
have to be Jimmy Buffett.
Then he dropped Mike. I was like, oh my god.
He threw that shit. He had a vendetta against that mic.
He did, and
Yeah.
it was a horrible performance.
Was it
by the
like
way.
Roseanne Barr?
But it doesn't
performance?
have to be good. I mean, honestly, what did you expect from Jimmy Buffett?
Why did they have Jimmy Buffett?
Did you
That's what I
expect
just-
Mariah Carey performance out of Jimmy Buffett? It's
No.
Jimmy fucking Buffett. The guy sold grass for a living before he made his music career.
A lot of people did.
Everyone starts somewhere.
Well, yeah, exactly. DJ Bassassin's like, yes, there is hope for me.
There is
I
tons
can,
of,
I
he's
can,
talented.
I can drop the national anthem one day at a Super Bowl halftime.
That would be very.
And I'll tell you what, I would
Remix.
much rather see DJ Bassassin at the
Same.
halftime show than Maroon fucking 5.
What the hell is that about? Jesus.
This is the Super Bowl. I'm not even
Oh my
watching
god! I know
this
they don't
year.
get paid to play there, but still.
Really?
Yeah.
It's volunteer?
Yeah.
I would think
No, they
the
have
team
to
would volunteer.
They actually have to pay. They get selected,
Oh,
and then they have to pay.
Their
But
label
think about the
pays?
stage. You have a worldwide stage at
That's what
that
they're saying.
point.
Yeah.
Everybody watches the fucking Super
It's a
Bowl.
privilege to be on the Super Bowl.
course.
Because I
Yeah.
heard he had trouble. He wanted to have a couple rappers in his show, and he couldn't find rappers that wanted to do that. So I didn't realize that you had to pay. So that's probably why they didn't want to do it.
Because they were like, Maroon 5? Nah.
They didn't want to pay.
Right.
Yeah. So speaking of that, you
least
don't
he
want to
backs-
pay to
backs
play
it at the
anywhere,
s-
but
No.
Yeah. I guess it happens at all levels, no matter what. Even if you're
You see?
fucking Maroon 5, you still have to pay to play.
it really does.
Interesting.
And that's a whole nother
Dichotomy.
entry
Never
into
ends.
the music industry itself. It's been effed up to begin with.
Why did we choose this life?
The
What the hell is wrong with us?
didn't choose it. It chose us.
The thug life chose us now the way.
That's what I tell my
let's
wife all
listen to
the
this.
time.
Let's
She doesn't understand.
She's in the room, dude. She's like,
And you know
Oh,
what
yeah.
you said? I don't.
find your own way home.
Just remember that the first record label that the Beatles came across said that they're trash and they're
Oh,
never
yeah.
going to do anything. Bohemian Rhapsody was considered a joke when they brought it up to
Yes.
the board, and they said this will never do anything.
It
Black
got
Sabbath was
panned by
denied
the
too.
critics.
Everyone gets denied.
Absolutely. So never give up hope.
It's,
never.
it's just like
Never.
Social Security disability. You get denied no matter what. Then you have to keep
Well,
going
no,
after.
No,
it.
I've given up hope on Social
You
Security.
reach
I'm
a
getting
certain
out of
age,
that,
and then they
yeah.
finally approve you.
Yeah. Then they're like, okay, we have to. It's in the paperwork. Stamp. All right, so let's.
For $6
Next, the
a month.
appropriate age is going to be dead.
I know,
That's when
right?
you get it. Mhm.
It's getting that way.
It's going to pay for some of the debt that your
That's what it's for
family will
artists.
ensue.
They're
Yeah.
never appreciated until they're finally dead, huh?
Yeah,
Right?
Like Beethoven. Yeah.
so many. And there,
I'm just laughing because it's been 5
we
minutes since
lost
I've
Big
introed the song.
3.5, I promise.
Oh man.
that's almost the perfect. I mean, anyway, I gotta get a beer.
Okay, give me one too, please.
Oh, here, I got one for you.
Oh,
You
there
didn't
you go.
share.
I'll get one afterwards. We're almost done with this episode. Sit your ass back down. Okay. All right, so
Let's do an extended episode. I want to talk some more.
I don't have extensions.
If that's all
Make up for that
natural.
denial last year. See, it's all about denial, huh?
Oh, he's
It's
gotta
all,
go there.
It's
That's
all,
not
about,
just
it's
the
all
river
about
in
denial.
Egypt.
It's all about getting. It's all about not giving up.
Well,
I got
first,
I got denied by
I'm
these
not gonna
guys.
give
first.
up. I want to play this damn song.
I gotta go shut the doors.
I know you left it open. I was like, "What are you doing?" No, we're almost done.
Ay, ay, ay.
With the reason.
All right, Volcano by
Volcano.
DJ Bassassin.
The emergency alarm that a volcano is about to erupt.
I was about
Watch
to
out
hit
for
the deck.
explosion.
Yeah.
That's trap right there, right?
That's trap, yeah.
Volcano. Volcano.
Ooh, I like that sound. What was that?
Slit.
That
Just a little ditty there.
really distorted.
Just kind of running down the scale.
Wow.
Really? It sounds
Just a little ditty.
Just a little ditty.
That's a technical term, by the way. It's,
Yeah.
it's really called a ditty.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't understand. The people that don't know, that don't know music theory,
Yeah.
don't know what a ditty is. It's just when I just run down this scale.
No, he's right.
When I just press,
I do.
I go
There is-
lower and lower. I just press one key and then another, then another, then another, going lower and lower notes.
Do you also speak the really weird, like musicians vernacular? So if you're trying to communicate something, you use wheedly, wheedly, wheedlies and like met mez and things like that. Or drummers, blickums. Drummers always know blickums. They're like, oh yeah, blickum, 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 blickum.
I thought drums were da 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 da.
Ticka ticka boom, ticka ta.
It could go either way. You see.
Exactly. Guitarists always have meh, meh,
So,
meh.
all right, how many CDs or albums do you have out?
Yeah. What do you got?
I have
Sean,
I have
empty your
that-
pockets, fool.
I have 2 EPs out.
Okay.
Okay.
I have 1 single, The Molly in the Club, and then I have another full CD that's going to be released this year. Maybe I'll just say May. I feel like releasing it in May.
You feel
That's my
you feel
target
very
now.
May?
It just developed the
Yeah.
target now.
I think
like
May
it.
is
So
a good
where
good
can
month.
people go to find your music? Because I'm telling you, if you didn't like EDM and you don't think EDM is music, you got to listen to your stuff because it's good.
DJ Bassassin started out as a musician.
Bassassin.
Bassassin.
We are just.
I just screwed you up. That's awesome. I pulled it off.
Bassassin.
Totally Inception, Kim.
I inceptioned.
You can call me what you want. Just pay me for my music. That's all that matters to me.
Sorry, I'm not paying you shit.
Perfection. I love it.
But seriously, go buy his music. It seems like it's a different kind of EDM, and you're developing your own style. You're fitting it in perfectly, and you have every other Friday at
The Moxy in downtown San Diego.
on 6th Street, right in the middle, the heart of downtown. So
9 to 1.
if you don't want to buy it yet, go see his damn show. He's got a residency there because this is I'm impressed, and you guys are
Equally impressed.
yeah. And Allie even came down.
Girls' night.
Yeah. I mean, we got Allie on the mic, so that says something. So, dude, seriously, DJ Bassassin, thank you so much for coming out and having a seat on the Dusty Futon with us.
Thank you for finally choosing me.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, what's your website? Where can people go and find you?
So my website is www.djbassassin.com. That's DJBassassin.com.
So it's Bass Assin.
Yeah.
Bass Ass in.
It's a mashup of bass and assassin
With ass in the middle.
with ass in the middle because I'm the bass assassin. Because in assassin, there's 2 asses in it.
You could say be assassin.
That's what telemarketers, when they say, oh, we have be assassin, we want to book you for, and I said, oh, yeah.
Click.
Yeah.
If you can't pronounce my name, you're not
It's so
talking to me.
because my email too. Mine is Tyler Johnson SD, like San Diego, but it looks like Tyler Johnson's D.
Well, it's like you don't want to go to therapist.com because when you type it in, therapist.com. All right, on that note, we're going to go ahead and end this episode.
Yeah. Thank you, Bass Assassin.
Thank again for coming out, man.
Hey, thank you for choosing me finally.
You're not going to let that one go.
No.
All right.
Just for that,
But
we're
I mean,
gonna
I
have
was so-
you back every other month.
I was stoked.
You're gonna
though.
have a residency on the futon.
High five.
I was so stoked when I got the email saying Reverb Nation. Oh, you've been selected. Yes, I did it.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily something to plot over, but hey, thanks for coming out anyway.
Oh, we're happy you're here.
Hey.
Big thank you to DJ Bassassin for joining us in Rancho Bernardo on the Futon. Thank you to Tyler Johnson for taking over and hosting this episode of the Dusty Futon. Major thank you to Spicy Kim of Wicked Tone Entertainment for co-hosting and for letting us record in her home studio. I'm Big John, engineer, editor, and producer of this production of the Dusty Futon LLC. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to get all the newest episodes. You can find out how at www.dustyfuton.com. If you love what we are doing and want to support our cause like Nicholas and Rick and our other supporters, please consider going to patreon.com/thedustyfuton and pledging to support for as little as $1 a month. Thank you again for listening to this episode of the Dusty Futon.
This is awesome. I am recommending this to my coworker, Jacqueline Martinez. Jake Wellen, you know where you are. So we can listen to this while we enter our purchase orders.
Yes. Philip and Michaela Campos.
Your music has just
There you go,
inspired her to talk into the microphone.
First
I don't
time
think she's ever done that.
Ever.
She's been in 6 episodes, but never from her own self.
The power of music.
Yes.
It can do things to you.
So no Grandmaster Flash scratching your,
Yeah, no Run DMC. I can scratch. I can scratch on my turntables, on my
Yeah.
CDJs,
A CD
but not on a
player.
vinyl.
CDJ. I like
CDJ.
The
In vinyl
diffuse-
mode.
The diffuse one.
I know what you're talking about, though. So
They look
when
like
I go into Guitar Center and I play around like an 8-year-old kid on everything, and they're like, "Don't touch that." They have those things where you just pop in the CD, and it's like this little mini turntable, and
Yeah.
it does exactly like what it was, except it doesn't damage the hell out of your merchandise.
Oh.
Yeah, those things are awesome. They're good. Like I used to dream that I could use those.
So let me kind of come in here and ask a question. 22 years old. Did you start out with all of this? Like, I mean, how did you really become a DJ? I'm interested because I know nothing about being a
Nothing.
DJ or stuff
Did you
down
pursue?
that. Yeah.
Did you pursue clubs, or were you just out? Or did somebody?
Let's
How did you
start with-
afford this equipment?
It was the drugs he was selling out of his parents'
You
garage.
guys are going crazy with your questions right now.
Yeah, he's like, what do I answer first? He's like, there's like writing it down.
Well, is this
okay.
recorded or
Yeah.
is this
Yeah,
off the record? Well, yeah, I mean,
Well, this is
I mean, I could say I
He
sold
can
stuff.
edit anything. Well, that
Yeah,
So you were an entrepreneur.
so when you started in your
businessman.
You
when
were
you
a
started in your
self-made man.
Yes.
when you okay, can I talk now? When you
Hey, so hey,
Hey.
when you started in Thank you. You finally got that.
you sound like a sample.
Yeah. When you